G'day, everyone, and welcome to the Chase Down. I am your host, Matty G, our weekly Inside NBA show dedicated to helping you chase down your win. There is 3 down, 4 to go. That means we are about to hit the halfway day of your fantasy week. It is week 21. What can we make from it? Who can we get into our team to help lock down that win? A lot of you are in grand finals or semifinals or quarterfinals. This is the time to make some moves. This is the show you want to check out, and it's all coming up at you after this.
Welcome to the Ultimate Super Coach and Fantasy Sports Show. You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Now, I don't want to do one of these big, great teasers where we say, oh, look, it's all going to come up at you after this. We're going to tell you what's going to happen. Here you go. Here's 2 picks straight off the rip. I'm going to give you value straight from the get-go, and this is it. The New Orleans Pelicans, they're playing 3 games in 4 days. There's 4 days left of the fantasy week, and there is one team with 3 games, and it is the New Orleans Pelicans. So this is what you want. You want to maximize your ads in week 21 because let's be honest, there's a couple of teams with only 2 games. Yeah, hello, shout out to you, Miles Bridges and Brandon Miller owners and anyone on the Charlotte Hornets and, of course, Luka, Kyrie owners and the man who didn't miss for a ridiculous amount of attempts, Daniel Gafford. Look, the Dallas Mavericks, they had 2 games. So a lot of managers are out there who have the peripheral guys on these teams are looking to make moves. And your opponent is looking to make moves as well. How many do you have? Now, in one league that I'm in, it's a 5 ad week. I've made 2. So where can I go from this one? With some hindsight, I bought in Larry Nance Jr. straight off the rip. So there was my Pelican. I got him for the first game, and I have got him for 3 more games this week. The next name that I am looking to bring in is one Jose Alvarado. He is off the bench there. Najee Marshall is another Pelican that I could probably look to bring in. But these are the guys who are getting a majority of the minutes in this situation right now. So when we look at it the other day on Tuesday, not much shifts from the guys that Mally and I spoke about. We spoke about together on the show the other day because the Grizzlies are the guys, not the Grizzlies, the Pelicans are the guys we want to bring into our team. So the best advice I can give you straight away, with 3 games in 4 days left of your fantasy week, you want to bring in a New Orleans Pelican. And the only New Orleans Pelicans off the bench, look, is Herb Jones available in your league? I mean, he was dropped because of some injuries. Bring him in. Is Trey Murphy randomly on your league? Great. Jonas Valanciunas, surely you could give him some minutes. But these are the guys we want to look to bring in because those guys are most likely owned. And they're over the owned threshold in all Yahoo leagues that I've checked out today. Herb Jones did go down in some leagues, though, especially in some 12-teamers because he was injured recently. So good old Herbert, he is available in one league that he is only rostered in 66% of leagues, which means if you're in a 10-teamer, you want to bring him in. A 12-teamer, you absolutely want to bring him in. Trey Murphy, he's another one of those guys who's been absolutely firing lately. He is 70% rostered. So you can't bring him in. 10-man teams, that's probably the reason why he's not rostered in 100% or 90-something% of leagues. Maybe you give Trey Murphy a look. You're going to get a great source of threes, great free throw percentage from this bloke. You're going to get assists, rebounds, but this is 10-teamers. We need to look outside that scope into those, the 12s and the 14s. And again, the Pelicans are the absolute look. Make no mistake about it. There is your best advice. Bring them in. With 4 days left and 3 games, a Pel is your absolute best shout. And that does bring us to the schedule for the week. We started off in here. We started off with 8, 5, and 8. Now, those 2 heavy days and our light, low-volume Tuesday are in the rearview mirror. And now moving forward, we are looking at a 7-game Thursday slate. 2 8s can be trickier to stick the landing on an 8-game day. But then again, in one league, I know that I've only got 3 players playing. And that's crazy because it's a high volume day. The next volume day, though, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 playing. And it's the same amount of games. So you don't know. Check your leagues, check how many guys you've got active and get moving. And then our next lowest volume game day is our Sunday. We're there is only 6 games on. So we want to start to think tactically. And again, like we said, we are looking for those back-to-back sets. We're looking for the Maximus games. It's not a sports drink. It's maximum amount of games that we can get. Also, if you want more advice like this one, make sure you don't just check it out for the NBA. You check it out for the NRL, which is the National Rugby League here in Australia, the AFL, the Australian Football League. We've got BBL and NBL over the course of the year. It is our Discord Unlimited. Make sure you get onto that one. The link is in the description below. We offer one-on-one feedback. You can hit us up on DM. We'll help you manage your teams. We'll give you our best super coach and fantasy advice each and every week. You have access to the experts at Insight. Hit us up. We'll take care of it. It's only $25 for the entire year. You can join the general Discord for free. So just jump in there. It's a great community of people. Jump in chat and we can make sure that we're taking care of you as well at that one. Let's have a look at that game slate, as we said, and the back-to-backs for the week ahead. Of course, we have the Pelicans with 2 of their 3. And that's the great thing about the Pelicans as well. Let's say you pick up one of these guys. You've got them for Thursday and Friday. Well, Saturday and Sunday are off the radar for them. What do you want to do there? Do you want to make another move? You get 2 games. It's the only back-to-back move you can make. If you want to maximize your games over your opponent, if you're especially looking for steals or blocks or some cheeky assists, this is where you're going to get them straight away off the rip. Now, there's other guys we like for the course of the week, but we can probably pick them up for one more game towards the end of the week because there's 2 more games for a lot of teams. But with 3 games left, a really good foundation is those Pel guys. We can then, again, if we miss on the trail on those ones, we can roll a Celtic, a Raptor, a Trailblazer, or a Spur. The Raptors are there twice, maybe because I like them. And on Sunday, Monday, we've got the Cavaliers, the Pistons, the Clippers, and the Sixers. What's important to note here is this. There are no Saturday and Sunday back-to-backs this week. So you're not going to pick up anyone to try and win your league on the Saturday and on the Sunday. You're not, because that team doesn't exist this week. So this is why getting these Pels in right now for the Thursday, Friday games is good, because then you could roll a Friday, Saturday back. You can't roll a Friday, Saturday back because you can't roll a Saturday, Sunday. But you can pick up an ad for your Saturday, and then you can pick up an ad for your Sunday. So where are you looking in advance? For that, you're about to get 1 ad, and you could get 3 games off that 1 ad in 4 days, or you can make those ads and get 1 a day until the end of your week. 3 ads, 4 days, perfect. Go nuts. What do you need? And let's be honest, a lot of us are in quarterfinals or semifinals, so we are just throwing darts at the dartboard, hoping that it works out. Keon Ellis much? 4 steals today in Sacramento? Absolutely huge. And that's what you wanted for him on the back end of that back-to-back set for the Sacramento Kings this week. You wanted him to give some points, some light points. Sure. You don't want that. What did you want? You wanted 3s and steals. Yep. Points, some assists, rebounds, all nice. They pad the stat sheet nicely, but 4 steals in 1 game is huge. This is what we bring these guys into our lineups for. So we make the absolute most of it each and every single chance that we can get. Looking ahead at games for tomorrow, let's do it. Let's do our game preview.
He's heating up.
And like we said, it is the first day of a back-to-back set for the New Orleans Pelicans. Here we are looking to bring in guys like Trey Murphy. Obviously, as I said, is a reserve, but he's rostered in 77% of leagues. Herb Jones is the starter and in 66% of Yahoo leagues. So we look to grab Herb first, and we look to grab Trey. Going down the line, Larry Nance Jr. and Najee Marshall and Jose Alvarado are going to come in and get some extra burn for these guys. But I do like the peripheral stats that Jose Alvarado can offer there. They're going up against the Orlando Magic. And again, here, guys like Jonathan Isaac come into play. But we're looking to grab the Pels, because what they can do with 1 single ad is what these guys can do with that 1 ad. And then you've got to burn an extra ad for the next day, for the Friday, to get what you've got off 1 ad. Save them. Save those ads, roll out a Pelican, and that's one of the first games of the day. And you can check out how it goes. And again, this is a back-to-back set for them. Does CJ play the next game? Maybe he rests. Maybe he doesn't. We don't know. But they very well could pull some shenanigans on this one, because they've got the Miami Heat. It's a tough back-to-back set, to be sure. Orlando, then Miami. Do they go full strength? Do they knock it out of the park early? Do they go hard? And these other bench guys, We all know that guys, again, like Jose Alvarado, love a tough he's a Miami Heat culture kind of guy. He'll get in there and do some work. Najee Marshall on those peripherals. Now, if you can't get those guys and you're looking around your next one, I've got to say right now that questionable for tomorrow's game is Denny Advia. Kyle Kuzma is off the injury report. He can be back in here. Rashawn Holmes is questionable. Corey Kispert has been a must-add player in 12 category formats. 12-team formats and 9-cat formats. Now, make sure you look at him. And I also like Justin Champagne. He has been getting additional minutes. He's looking probably about another 25 to 30 minutes tomorrow. So we can look to bring him. Guys on the peripheral there are guys like Patrick Baldwin and Jared Butler. Back to that Orlando thing, by the way, for the game before. Again, guys like Cole Anthony out there, Jonathan Isaac for a nice sense of blocks and steals is also a shout here. The curious one here tomorrow is in Brooklyn. Day'Ron Sharpe is the guy that I've got my eyes on. Now, he would usually get about 15 minutes a game, but if he is out, Nick Claxton could get the burn. Day'Ron played incredibly well the other day. What a massive stat line for Day'Ron Sharpe. That was huge for him. 8 points, 17 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. The field goal percentage was in the garbage for him. Like 364 from a guy who previously is 770, 100, 500, 1, and then he got a lot of shots and went 300. So when he does get a lot of extra burn or some extra minutes, he can just throw up a lot of shots and just get greedy around the rim, to be fair. So that's the one thing that you might think of. Oh, I'm getting field goal percentage. I'm just always curious on Day'Ron Sharpe. I love the defensive stats. I love the rebounding. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely a big horse. Absolutely massive coming out of the stables for you. But is he going to cost you some field goal percentage? Well, the big backup horse in Day'Ron could, because he just loves to get near there and throw them up and prove his worth in his minutes. So just be cautious of that. And in Brooklyn, but he is a good source of rebounds and some block shots there. In Milwaukee, Bobby Portis, again, huge with Giannis, questionable tomorrow. I'm up against Giannis in a league where he was off today. I hope, because that was against the Celtics, that he is off again tomorrow against the Brooklyn Nets. That would be really, really handy for me. But again, Bobby Portis, huge. Bobby Portis has continued to play well. He's looking at another bunch of minutes tomorrow, and especially if Giannis misses time, add Bobby Portis for the one game if you need to, if you're looking for rebounds, because he is going to go, and points. He is the guy that you want to pick up there. Our next game of the day here is the Chicago Bulls and the Houston Rockets. Kobe White is coming back from a 6 or 7 game absence. He is questionable with his right hip strain. We're looking to pick him up if he is on the waiver wire in any form of league and people are questioning that one. This is going to still give Ayo Dosunmu minutes, probably at the shooting guard role, whereas Torrey Craig is coming off the bench for these guys, and we can't really do anything here. Alperen Sengun is out. Obviously, we've got Cam Whitmore is out for a majority of the season. Tara Easton is out for the season. Jock Landale and the block fest from him the other day. If you're looking for rebounds and blocks, Jabari Smith Jr., obviously doing the heavy lifting right now. Doing the heavy lifting right now. Jock off the bench is a really good shout. On to our next game of the day. We have Utah. And despite returning the other day and playing well, Lauri Markkanen is questionable, marked on that game. Taylor Hendricks continues to start and play well, with guys like Bryce Zanzibar taking a bit of a reduced role. Again, let's watch that Lauri Markkanen decision on that questionable tag coming into the game. And if that case, we could probably roll out with some more confidence. Bryce Zanzibar to get some peripheral. Keontae George has proved his worth and he's just moved into a really nice target on draft day of next year. Initially, Luka was questionable for tomorrow, but he is playing just elitely well. He is off the injury report entirely. He is looking good. Kyrie, we can look here to bring in guys like Dante Exum from another few minutes off the bench here. But again, we're with those guard stats, we'd rather get 2 games in one from a guy like Jose Alvarado over with the New Orleans Pelicans. Next game of the day, second last one, is the New York Knicks and the Denver Nuggets. Here, questionable is Zeke and Najee. OG Anunoby, that injury, again, has opened the pathway for Josh Hart to get that extra boost in here. And Miles McBride. I like Miles McBride. He's a bit of a sneaky ad tomorrow. And the Knicks do have a 2 games in 3 game schedule. So again, if those guys that we like aren't available, like Jose Alvarado and Larry Nance, to get the most of those, you can get 3 and 2. That's a really nice shout. They're up against Denver. That is a tough matchup, but the next one against is not. It is Brooklyn. and Brooklyn have not been very good. So this is where we could probably look to a guy like Miles McBride to give us a little bit of value and a bit of a boost currently with guys like OG and Anunoby out. A bit of an update though. Julius Randle is approaching a return. Now this doesn't impact your week 21. It probably won't impact your week 22. But if you get up really, really comfortable in week 22, keep your eye on him in week 23 and 24 if you have a league that goes that deep. Because we are looking at a lot of superstars returning late in the NBA season just to get some reps up before the end of the year. And this is the case where we can look to bring in guys like Julius Randle in this one. Up next for this one, Mitchie Robinson. He has got a couple more games. He has been practicing with the team. He is on waiver wires left, right, and center. This is a guy who we can be confident to bring in, especially if we are a block and rebound focused team. Throwing this guy into your lineup will absolutely be huge, and this can help to pretty much shake up week 22. So we are definitely keeping our eye on Mitch Robinson. Mitch E is a couple of games away, and with 2 games left in their week, this means that Mitch Robinson could be a go in week 22. And if that's the case, we can probably look to bring him in, especially if we're winning our league this week. If we're winning our matchup, and we're winning our matchup comfortably, look, they play 2 games in 3 games, 2 days, 2 games in 3 days to start next week. And they play against Detroit and Toronto on Monday and Wednesday, a home game against Detroit, and they travel north of the border to Toronto on the Wednesday. I am definitely keeping my eyes on Mitch Rob. I'm looking for those updates from the medical staff. And if he makes a cameo appearance before the end of this week, oh yeah, you best believe that I'm on that one. Because if he's there and Mitch Robinson's sitting around at the end of the week in week 21, I'm going to have a look. Oh, look, Tom Thibodeau loves to run him out. They play against the Brooklyn Nets. Let's just go and get him some reps up on Saturday. So if he comes back 1 game early from what he's expected to, that's a definite add that I'm looking forward to for week 22. I can add him with confidence if I'm winning. If he gets there on Saturday morning and you find that he is inserted into a lineup, you can roll him out that day. He'll get some minutes. There will be some restrictions that apply, but just let's see what he does in those restrictions if we want to take a somewhat cautious approach. And then we add. We're looking at the game, 4th quarter. We can see what he's going to do. We know that he's going to be capped on. Someone mentioned something beforehand. Oh, yeah, we're not going to play him any more than 20, 25. In the second unit, this man would absolutely obliterate in the second unit for 18 to 20 minutes a night. So we look to add him if we can by the end of the week, and that will help to win your week 22. And that's the best advice we can give you for week 21. We're going to be back live on Saturday morning, myself, Skitty, and special guest for the Heat Check on Insight Fantasy Sports. Make sure you like and subscribe to all the things and give our sponsors a bit of a mention as well. Our good friends over at the Standard Squeeze. Make sure you get yourself 15% off by using the promo code INSIDE15 for all you travelers. They have the best lineup of mugs and travel beverage containers in the world. You can put your shot in the top, mix it up, a perfect shot every time, because it is the Standard Squeeze. And their traveler mug, my wife used hers today to take her hot chocolate to work on the train. Perfect. I use mine in my car almost every single day after I crack off a coffee here at home, and I'm off to work. It is the perfect place to get all of your needs and a great lineup of apparel as well. Insight15 is your coupon code there. We'll check you soon. Don't forget about the Insight Discord link. It is below. Join that. Get all of the best advice and more you can give. Like and subscribe to the show. We will check you live. In the US, it is Friday. In the UK, it'll be Friday. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. The Heat Check. Me and Skitty. Get your updates. Follow me and Insight on X and everywhere you can get your podcast from. Like and review us. Give us 5 stars, and we'll see you soon.